Hey guys, it's Kit here. Today I'm going to show you how I created this super cute pastel look using the Huda Beauty Mint palette and the Huda Electric Obsessions, featuring some faux freckles with Anastasia Dip Brow. Yeah, if you're interested to see how I created this look, please stay tuned. So let's get started. First, we're going to start off with Huda Beauty's liquefied eyeshadows in the matte and metal. So the colors we have here today are Minted and De Niro. So Minted is the matte shade, that's the one we're going to be using. So I'm just popping a little bit of this onto my Paw palette, and I'm going to grab a brush here. So the brush I've got is actually from the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde collection. Honestly, they've been my fave brushes at the moment. I can't get enough of this set, and they come with the cutest little like holographic pouch. I'll have to show you guys, but seriously, I've been reaching for these every single day, no matter what shadow look that I'm doing. But here I'm just gonna blend this liquid shadow through the crease. I probably shouldn't have set my eyelids with as much powder because I am finding it a little tricky to blend. Now I'm just going in with a blending brush just to soften it a little bit. But I would recommend doing this on, like, if you've put foundation or your favorite concealer on your eyes. I just wouldn't set it with too much powder. If you're using a liquid over top, I would set the liquid shadow with the powder after you've got it on. Now I'm blending again with that fluffy Huda brush. So this is the Pack and Buff brush. One side is more flat and then the other side is more fluffy. They're quite nice blending brushes, both of them. And they're very soft as well. They're synthetic hairs. They don't use any animal fur at all. I've got another brush from her actually. It's like a contour and highlight, another double-ended brush. It's really good. I'll have to show you guys that one. So here I've got my Huda Beauty Pastel Mint palette. Honestly, I've been reaching for this so much. I haven't got my mint hair on today, but when I am wearing my mint hair, honestly, this palette is perfect for my eyebrows, so I'll use this nearly every day to color my eyebrows. But I'm just highlighting under my brow, and I'll probably do a touch in the inner corner. But honestly, the Huda pigments, they're the most shimmery shadows I've ever worked with. It's not a glitter, but they have, I swear, they're like multi-dimensional glitters. I can't explain them any other way, but every single one is like got more than 3 or 4 color glitters through it. It's almost like that holographic effect no matter what palette that I'm using, because I have 5 different palettes from Huda. I'm absolutely addicted to their formula. They're so good. So now I'm just using a bit of a lighter pastel mint shadow just above where we placed the liquid shadow, just to sort of create more of a transition so it gets lighter as it goes up to my brow bone and then fades into that sort of white highlight color. And now I'm doing just the opposite, so I'm using that darker sort of teal shade like lower, so underneath my crease, blending a little bit like onto my lid, just so we get that nice gradient from dark to light, just away a tiny bit of fallout. Can't have that. So now we're going into the Huda Electric Obsessions palette. So honestly, oh my god guys, this is a staple, I'd say, in any makeup artist or makeup lover's palette. It's such a versatile palette, it really adds everything. So I'm just taking the tiniest little pencil brush, where normally if you're shading the eye you would add like a bit of black or like a really dark brown. I'm trying to create the same effect with this deep sort of, not quite navy blue, but it's very like deep sort of, almost like an ocean blue, deep sea blue. Beautiful color. And I'm going in with that same sort of darker teal shade from the Mint palette, just over the top, just so it has that, just so it looks more blended. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. These colors are divine. Blue's my favorite color anyway, so I could wear it any day of the week, I swear. So funny story, I wasn't actually gonna make this a fake freckle look, but if you've noticed from up to now, I have a little dot of brow pomade like on the top of my nose. I accidentally drug my brush across it when I was doing my brows, and I was like, oh shit, I messed the whole thing up. But then I was like, you know what, instead of wipe it off, I'm just gonna try to create these faux freckles. So it's funny how things turn out that way. You don't intend them to be, and then you just feel inspired by happy accidents, as Bob Ross would call them. So this is actually a new brush that I just recently got. It's from KVD Vegan Beauty. So if you have a look at it, it's just not your typical angled brush. There are actually little gaps in between the hairs, so it creates like lines. I've been using it at the moment. It's been recommended to use with their 3-dimensional brow powder, so I've really been liking that. But it's actually perfect for drawing on individual hair strokes, or like in this case, individual tiniest little freckles. But it's such a cool brush. Honestly, I feel like it's a staple in anyone's kit. It's amazing. My life has been changed since I found it, for sure. Honestly, KVD brushes are great. I use so many in my kit for work. Their foundation brush is pretty cool. It's kind of like a pyramid shape, so it's angled on each side. It's kind of like triangular, and oh, it's just the best for buffing in like a full coverage beat. Oh my god, I love it. But here I'm just going in with my ride or die, like under eye setting powder brush. I use this for everything. So I'm just taking a bit of translucent powder. I think I've used the Inglot one here, and I just went over top of the freckles just to soften them a bit so they didn't seem as obvious. So they look like they may actually be coming out of my skin. Now I'm using a little shader brush just to add some purple under my eyes. I didn't even realize how much this eyeshadow actually matched my nails and my hair and the whole look. It wasn't actually on purpose. These are just my favorite colors, so I have a lot of clothes and hair and everything that are these colors. Just a coincidence. So this is the last brush from the Mercury Retrograde set, so this is a pretty cool blending brush as well. So it's actually angled, and it's kind of tapered to a point, but perfect for getting that really seamless blend. Now we're cutting the crease with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. I'm actually using the smaller brush than I usually would. This is the Makeup Forever 174 brush, but normally I use the one that's just one brush bigger, so it's a 226 brush. But I couldn't find it, so I just grabbed whatever was close by because I was getting ready for a friend's birthday party, so I was in a bit of a rush. I couldn't be bothered hunting and hunting trying to find what the brush I was looking for. So when in a pinch, improvise. So now we're going back in with the Huda Electric Obsessions palette and combining it with this sort of soft peach shade from the Mint palette. So I'm doing the bolder sort of coral shade on the center of my lid, and I'm going to put that lighter sort of peachy shade on the sort of inner corner. I'm trying to create the perfect color to match this sort of lipstick shade that I've got on. I want to go for something quite like peachy. Blue and orange really work really well together because they're complementary colors. So if you have a look on a color wheel, you'll see that they're actually like across from one another. So anytime you're working with complementary colors, they really like add a pop and create like a crazy contrast if you want to go for a really bold look. I'm just blending that a little bit more. Blending. Now I'm going to go over the top with a bit of a shimmer. And I'm trying out this little sponge, I haven't actually tried it before, so we're gonna give it a go. So we'll see if it actually works. So in all of Huda's videos, she always uses this to apply any sort of shimmer or like pigment. So we'll see how we go. Honestly, I found that it was a bit too intense, so that's why I'm going over the top, blending it with a fluffier brush. And we've got this sort of like mint chocolate chip shade over the top. But now I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty liquid liner. This is our life-proof liner, so claimed anyways. I'm just gonna tight line my upper waterline real quick. This is not the funnest part, let me tell you. I get so ticklish and my eyes start to water, especially wearing contacts. I haven't played around with this liner a lot. I've had it sitting in my kit for ages because I bought it when it first launched. I was really excited to try it. I love the idea of a liquid liner. I tried the Tarte one in the past, absolutely hated it. But Huda Beauty, they really hit the nail on the head with this formula. I like it a lot. So now I'm just taking this sort of shimmery purple to set the purple that we've done under the eyes, just to make it more cohesive with the shimmer of the sort of peachy coral that we've got going on the lid. And I've just popped on a little bit of mascara off camera. Today I'm using the Tarte Surfer Curl. You would have seen the sort of minty packaging at the start of the video. I thought it was really cute because it matched the mint palette. So I was like, oh, aesthetic. Have to use this to take a cute little thumbnail photo or something. I don't know. Normally I'll use the Anastasia Beverly Hills liner. So this was new for me, sort of getting used to the brush, because the Anastasia liner, that one is a felt tip. But honestly, this one it's a bit shorter, so you do have more control. The Huda brush is honestly easy to use. I would say for a beginner who is using a liquid liner, because the brush is quite short, you have more control over it. So I definitely recommend this liner, or especially great for anyone who has oily eyelids, because this shit is waterproof. Oh my god, it stays on for sure. You'll see later I accidentally have a little smudge, and I made the mistake, I waited for it to dry to get it off. And that was a mistake for sure, because it had literally dried on there, but you'll see that coming up here soon. So I would suggest, if you do make a mistake with this liner, try to work with it while it's still wet. Sometimes it is easier, usually with mascaras and things, when they smudge, let them dry first, leave it alone, and then try to wipe off your mistake with like a little Q-tip once it's dry. But I tried that with the Huda, and honestly this formula, oh my god, it is waterproof. It didn't want to budge at all. But at the same time, I find it's really hard for me to find a mascara as well as an eyeliner that doesn't smudge throughout the day, like especially when I'm at work. So you can see I've smudged it there, whoops. But when I'm at work, usually doing like really long, like 9 or 10 hour shifts, I always have like my makeup melting off, especially my eye makeup because I've got really oily eyelids, but honestly, having something like this that stays is a lifesaver. So I'm gonna try to save my eyeliner here. I've gone back in with that matte sort of purpley pink shade, the first one that we used under the eye, just to try to cover it. Because I find a matte isn't going to highlight your mistake. Sometimes a shimmer can sort of highlight, but you can still see a bit of black underneath. But I was in a rush. I had to get out the door. I think the party was in like 10-15 minutes and I'm late already. Always like me, fashionably late. Not something I'm proud of, but what can you do? So I'm just adding a bit of the shimmer on top now, just to make everything blend again, because I messed it up. No. It's okay. Happy accidents. So cute. I love the color so much. Oh my gosh. So now I'm just blending on the outside of that purple just so it has like a seamless fade. So pretty. Really matching the whole outfit and the hair as well. I love it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this makeup look. And before I forget, I'll just let you know what I'm wearing on my lips as well, because I know that you guys will ask. So I've actually got the Bite Beauty lip liner. This one is shade number 4. And then I've got Velour Lips from Australis, so a matte liquid lipstick. This one is called Fiji. And then over the top, I've just put this Smith & Co. gloss, which to give it more of like a peachy look. This one's called Her Name Bubbles. I don't know what kind of name that is. It's not Her Name is Bubbles, it's Her Name Bubbles. Anyways, that's that, and I will see you next time.